Hello buddy, Insane Frame here and welcome back to another Fallout video. In our last video we ran around with the revolutionary sword, which was pretty cool. So in this video we're going to be asking the question, can you beat Fallout 4 with a double-barreled shotgun? Now the shotgun is certainly a decent weapon, it's got good damage, fairly decent mods, and in VATS it's quite a monster. However, the downside is we will only have 2 rounds before we have to reload. Also, the range on the damn thing is not great, but at least shotgun shells are really common, so ammo won't be a problem. Let's quickly go over the rules. We may only use the double-barreled shotgun in battle, no glitches or exploits, no cheating or modding the game's files, and we're going to be playing on very hard difficulty. Right, we begin in Frankenstein's bathroom, and today we've got a fairly villainous look going on. Once that's done, we grab some coffee from Codsworth. Thank you, Codsworth. And Vault-Tec Cool. We name ourselves Johnny, and as for our special stats, we go for 3 strength, 1 perception, 1 charisma, 3 endurance, 10 intelligence, 5 agility, and 5 luck. We see our son Mr. Potato and we immediately go to the vault. We admire the tank and the motorbike on the floors, we head there, but once on the platform we enter the vault and we're frozen. Nora then gets the complimentary unaliving moment and Mr. Potato is then taken. Once unfrozen, we make our way through the vault and begin our first obstacle, which are the dastardly radroaches. We lock them out, so they weren't really a problem to begin with, and they're no longer going to damage us. Once we acquire the Pip-Boy, we go ahead and open the vault, and we take the lift up, and we go to see Fallout Boston. Beautiful. We go home and get ourselves the special book, up in our perception to 2, unlocking the Rifleman perk, which would be absolutely paramount this run. We quickly make our way to Trash Can Carla as well, and we buy ourselves the weapon which we need, which is the double-barreled shotgun. Shortly after, some raiders in Concord get shown what for, and we hit level 2. We go ahead and select the Rifleman perk, upping our damage with our shotgun by 20%. Very nice, especially early on in the game. We then do the age-old trek to Diamond City, getting Tales of a Junktown jerky vendor along the way, allowing to help our trading. We get to Bunk Hill and hit level 3, so we go ahead and get the Scrounger perk so we can find ammo in containers, which will come in very handy. After running around Boston for a little while, we bump into Good Neighbor and Hancock stabs a guy. Well done, Hancock. We go back to Concord and take out the raiders in the Museum of Freedom and deal with the raider presence. Once there, we speak to Preston and he states how difficult life has been for the Minutemen. Sturgis lets us know about some T-45 power armor, which will probably sell, honestly. However, we face off against some raiders and the Deathclaw in the streets of Concord. It does take a fair amount of time to beat the Deathclaw, just simply because our damage isn't amazing and we have to reload a lot. But to make up for it, we do finish it off in a cool critical hit. We also get a level up for our troubles and we go for Gun Nut Rack 1, which will come in very handy later. Already in fairly decent shape, so we go and take the fight to the Triggermen hideout to get Nick Valentine and press on with the story. The fight in here is fairly difficult because of our weapon's lack of range, but our VATS does save us a fair few times here, and Dino is dealt with and we get Spring Valentine free for the charming fellow he is. We get a level up for our troubles and go for a short and sweet one with just +1 luck, unlocking better criticals for us in the future. Once we get through the vault, however, we have a showdown with Skinny Malone, and it goes very well. It doesn't go well for Darla, but the fight goes our way, and we managed to do it first time, which is most excellent. Take that, Skinny. When outside, Nick invites us to his office in Diamond City. We also level up shortly afterwards, and manage to get better criticals. Our critical hits deal 50% more damage. Once at Nick's office in Diamond City, we're interviewed and the mention of the dastardly Kellogg cornflakes is mentioned by Ellie. So Nick suggests going to his house in Diamond City. We see Piper in the mayor's quarters and she decides to continuously poke around in the mayor and our business. Anyway, we talk to the mayor's secretary and bribe her accordingly as per the protocol to get the keys. When we enter Kellogg Cornflake's house, we use the switch underneath his desk and find a secret room. Nick then speaks to us and says he has a specialist that he can use. We agree, he whistles, and then we see the fluffiest doggo ever, that is dog meat. And since he's a good doggo, we'll take him up on his offer to get Kellogg Cornflakes. We also level up and get Scrounger level 2, helping us find more ammo in containers, solving our cat problems for this run. As we vacate Diamond City, we find Kellogg's cigar nearby and Dogmeat keeps going on the trail. We find a couple more clues and close in on where Kellogg is eventually. We find Fort Hagen, but before we go in, I think getting a couple of levels is very wise here. So we go to Lexington, where plenty of ghouls are running around in the supermarket, giving XP and loot. Then we deal with some raiders in a bunker complex and manage to get some loot as well as a silver locket. And then we go to Abney Farm and turn the locket in to level up. So with our side quest complete, we spend our 2 level ups on Rifleman, upping our damage by 40% and now ignoring 15% of the target's armor. Very nice. And our second perk we go for is Armorer, so we can upgrade our armor, which is exactly what we do here, improving our armor to studded leather. We also upgrade our shotgun as much as we can, and we're ready for Fort Hagen. We get to Fort Hagen and the forces here are quite challenging, but nothing we can't handle, and with a few decent tries, we're okay. We even raid the Fort Hagen armory for all the goodies stored here. Once we make our way to Kellogg Cornflakes, we pretty much destroy his accompanying droids, and once his stealth boy wears off, we open fire on him and manage to knock him out with a successful melee attack. That's pretty damn satisfying, honestly. After accessing Mr. Cornflake's terminal, we find out Mr. Potato has been taken by the Institute for a balanced breakfast. The Brotherhood then make their presence known in the Pride Win, which is absolutely amazing. We salute you, Elder Maxon. After coming back to Diamond City, we talk to Nick, and Piper is here, and she decides to think that we're her friend now, despite giving her the cold shoulder multiple times. And we speak with Nick. He suggests that we go to the Memory Den due to getting some of Kellogg Cornflake cybernetics. We skip the introductions and go straight to the Memory Den with Nick and meet Dr. Armani, and she decides to hook Nick up to the memory sequence, and that we should be hooked up as well and access the memories. Brushing over the memory sequence, it's not too bad, but we get to the end of it and find out about a scientist that escaped the Institute named Brian Virgil. With our job done, Dr. Armani makes sure we're okay. Thank you, Doctor. Then we talk to Nick and decide to fly solo. However, we do have 2 level ups gained, so we decide to go ahead and grab Nerd Rage, which ups our damage by 20% and grants 20 damage resistance if we fall low on health. Our second perk we go for is Bloody Mess, giving a 5% damage boost across the board, which will help out in one way or another. Since we completed the Memory Den, we might as well go find the Railroad whilst we're at it. They're going to be at the Old North Church, so we go to the basement and input the password Railroad. We meet Desdemona, and she's fairly accommodating considering how we are with our replies. But thanks to Railroad, we gain another level up, and we go for Bloody Mess rank 2, upping our damage across the board by 10%, which is quite decent. We head on over to the Cambridge Police Station. Our shotgun is super effective against the ghouls there. Paladin Dance then lets us help out with an operation, so we walk on over to ArcJet Systems, and once there we encounter some familiar androids and manage to beat a few of them back, and we also gain a level up and go for Gun Nut rank 2. We also grab the junk jet whilst we're here, and we restore the power to the engine, and then we watch Dance fight a little bit. We then use the engine to burn everything in the air into a fiery inferno. Dance survives due to plot armor from Todd, so thanks Todd. And we carry on by going up the lift and finding the remaining forces in ArcJet Systems. We deal with them and we are rewarded with the deep range transmitter. Once outside, Dance speaks to us and we hand the transmitter and get the righteous authority from him, but the second thing Dance talks to us about is an invitation to the Brotherhood of Steel, which we gleefully accept. Before we do anything else, we head to the Red Rocket and upgrade our shotgun as much as possible. We also name it appropriately, and with our new level up, we go for Armorer rank 2, which will allow us to upgrade our armor as we see fit for any equipment we get in the future. We go back to the Cambridge Police Station, we have a meeting, and Paladin Dance lets us know that he's put in a request to Elder Maxon to promote us to a knight in the Brotherhood of Steel. Shortly after we board a vertibird, we are granted permission to board the Pridwin. Once aboard, we meet Captain Kells, who directs us to report to Elder Maxon. We walk in and see Elder Maxon give a speech, and we wait until it's over, and he promotes us to Knight and gives us some T60 power armor, which will have to sit in its bay unfortunately, but maybe it will get some use in a future video. We'll just have to wait and see. We check in with the crew on the airship, including a medical examination, then talking to Prospector Quinlan, a very well-mannered individual with a pet killie, might I add. So adorable. Then we see Ingram, who keeps the power armor in the ship running, a really cool character. And lastly, QM Tegan, who supplies all personnel with their gear for a price. We speak to Maxon outside and he tasks us with annihilating Fort Strong. He wishes for us to take a vertibird, but that would be against the rules, so we go on foot. Once at the doorstep of the mutants, due to the lack of our range, we have to close the distance before we can deal any real damage. We use hit and run tactics, picking off the mutants one by one, until only the super mutant behemoth remains. This I thought was going to be a very difficult fight, but it's actually really easy as we just take continuous pop shots in a single area until the Gargant falls. We then get to Fort Strong itself. It takes several tries, but we manage to rack up a lot of damage and press on and scrape on by until we get to the basement. We do even more mayhem, but we emerge victorious, which is awesome. Dance comes by and checks in with us and sends us to Elder Maxson once again. Elder Maxson states that he wants a lead to the Institute, so that's our cue to find Brian Virgil out in the glowing sea. We acquire a level up and go ahead and get rank 2 for better critical, so our critical hits now do double damage against any of our targets, which is amazing. The glowing sea is amazing as well, as we see a burning question answered, which is, what would win, a Deathclaw or a legendary Rad Scorpion? Apparently the answer is the Deathclaw emerges the victor. We get to Virgil's cave and face the Deathclaw outside. It's not actually that bad, and a decent shot with our critical hit in the Deathclaw's belly does a lot of damage. We then finish it off with a volley into its belly and vats, which is surprisingly easy. Once in Virgil's cave, we tell him Kellogg Cornflakes is dead and that we want to get inside the Institute. He agrees to help and says we need to kill an Institute Courser. So we go to where the Courser is located, which is Green Tech Genetics. The gunners are already here, but they don't pose that much of a challenge really. However, one of the gunners has a rocket launcher and manages to end us several times, which really sucks. We manage to end him in vats along with a legendary gunner, but his launcher makes for a nice piece of loot. The Courser himself wasn't difficult at all, more annoying than anything, to be honest, but we use our vats to help reload our weapons and do decent damage. We finish the Courser off and take his Courser chip, but since we met the railroad earlier, we waltz on in and get them to decode the chip. Desdemona demands the Courser chip in return for decoding it, and that's not good manners right there, Desdemona, but soon you'll understand. Anyway, we get 2 level ups, so we spend them on +2 agility, not the fanciest level ups, but it's still pretty good. Virgil asks us how we got the chip decoded and makes his remarks, which we agree with, but gives us the plans to build the teleporter. Elder Maxson is made aware of our progress and assigns Ingram to help build the teleporter, and once complete we speak with Elder Maxson about our mission. He wants us to find and locate Dr. Madison Lee in the Institute and get her to return into the fold. We step onto the teleporter and we begin our mission. Once in the Institute, we immediately use the network scanner and Father greets us as we go down the lift over the intercom. We then meet the ultimate villain, the Child Simp. How dare he steals all the Oscars and hides them, but Father thankfully shuts him off and contains the evil for yet another day. Be very careful, Mr. Potato. Father then reveals in a shocking twist that he is our son, Mr. Potato. He lets us have full reign of the Institute, so we immediately beeline for the Bioscience Division. We go to the FEV lab and we face a lovely robot trying to dismantle us, but we persuade the robot by using shotgun shells and also unalive a few turrets. We make our way to Virgil's old office, grab a holotape, then we grab Virgil's serum, and once we get out we head to Advanced Systems and find the one and only Dr. Madison Lee. She is less than delighted to see us and asks why we have come. We just come right out with it and ask her to return to the Brotherhood of Steel. She asks for proof and we gladly give her the holotape we found 5 minutes ago. The Institute are not what they seem and they have lied to Dr. Lee, according to Brian Virgil. With Dr. Lee's opinion turned around, our mission is a success. We go ahead and meet the division heads and report to Mr. Potato, and he is none the wiser. Once back at base, we give Ingram the network scanner and report to Elder Maxson, who says that Dr. Lee will make a great addition, but is going to interrogate her just to be cautious. Once we speak to Ingram again, she shows us Liberty Prime and says Dr. Madison Lee is not cooperating. We find Dr. Madison Lee in the power armor bays and we persuade her to do the Liberty Prime project for Brian Virgil. She reluctantly agrees and falls back in line. When we get back outside, we see Ingram once more, but this time with Dr. Lee, and we're told we have to build some magnets for Liberty Prime. Simple enough, but we also level up and we go for Rifleman rank 3, increasing our damage done by 60%. And now we ignore 20% of the target's armour. Very powerful indeed, especially for a shotgun. The high-powered magnets are built and automatically delivered. However, Ingram then wants us to get some nuclear warheads, which will be very challenging. So with our mission in hand, we go to the outpost Echo and meet up with Scribe Halen, who gives us a distress pulsar. We have another level up as well, and we decide to go with +1 agility, which I have a good feeling this will be our final stat increase. Anyway, we go back to Glowing Sea once more and see a industrial solar pyramid. We get inside, open the vault door, and once we're inside we wander around and find a group of ghouls. Thankfully we have the perfect weapon to counter them and quickly deal with them. We find some Radaway, heal up, then find Henry and his robot guard. We immediately shoot out the robot's leg, then finish it off. As for Henry, he gets booped in the face. We place the distress beacon, so mission accomplished. We report back to Ingram and Dr. Lee. They kindly let us switch on Liberty Prime with a big red button and give us a pat on the back for a job well done. We're then summoned by Elder McNamara. Okay, just joking. We're then summoned by Elder Maxon, who finds out Dance is in fact a 3rd gen simp. So we're tasked with hunting Dance down. Good times. Prospector Quinlan confirms his findings with us, and we get Scribe Halen rudely interrupting us, a senior officer. We are not impressed, and Prospector Quinlan agrees with us. However, Scribe Halen also stupidly gives Dance's location away in a former outpost. We go to the said former outpost and take the lift down, and we shoot Dance down whilst Nerd Rage is active, giving a cool yet dramatic death for Dance. After we take his dog tags back to Elder Maxon, he's pleased and promotes us to Paladin of the Brotherhood of Steel, and gives all of Paladin Dance's stuff to us as well. Yay! We report to Captain Kells for our next mission, and he wants us to defeat the Railroad, whilst Ingram wants us to retrieve Pam from the Railroad. With our orders set, we're good to go, and we've also hit level 20. We go ahead and get the perk Reload, making all of our weapon reloads that much faster, which is awesome. We go to the Old North Church, and when we're inside we meet some resistance, but our shotgun deals with them accordingly. When we get to the basement, we deal with Glory, and Desdemona also falls, and Deacon as well. With everybody dead, we get to Pam's terminal and we send Pam back to the Brotherhood of Steel. We report on back and Captain Kells is very impressed but states that Ingram needs our help. We meet Ingram back at the Power Armor Bay and she asks us to accompany her to get the Beryllium Agitator. We accept of course as Ingram is awesome and we head out to a vertibird. We get a prompt and we decide to continue, but as we go to the mass fusion building we can't use the minigun, but we decide to bail out of the vertibird and take the fight on the ground. We deal with the initial Institute forces, we go down the lift and most of the Institute forces are out of our effective range, so we just simply take cover and hide, healing when we can. Once the lift is compromised, we run out and shotgun a couple of the Institute simps in the face and get the lift back online and head to the main lobby. Once in the main lobby, we deal with more Institute forces and even head upstairs and deal with a couple more units, which is actually quite funny. We go down another lift and get to the reactor and we wear a hazmat suit and manage to acquire the Beryllium Agitator. The alarm is tripped, however, and we get the short end of the stick. A legendary sentry bot is spawned, and oh boy, this guy hurts a lot. No joke, it took quite a few attempts, however in the end we just use a single dose of Psycho and shoot off his arms. We retreat to the contamination unit and lock the door, so the sentry bot doesn't harm us with the explosion which keeps killing us. It then spawns 2 Assaultrons, which isn't too bad as we do the old kneecapper technique of destroying the legs and finishing them off by shooting their limbs. Once that's done, we destroy a turret or 2 and Ingram handles a Protectron. Thank you, Ingram. We go back to the main lobby, but simply book it out of there and avoid the fighting. We get a level up and go for Action Boy, so our action points regenerate 25% faster than normal, which is most excellent. We get back to the airport and we insert the Beryllium Agitator and we get to see Liberty Prime come back online. We have to follow Liberty Prime as we're ordered to escort it, but really it's escorting us and anything that gets in its way is absolute roadkill. We arrive at the CIT ruins and my word, there is a lot of energy and laser weapons here. We just sit back and watch, then Liberty Prime fires a laser beam and makes a hole into the Institute. So we do our duty as Johnny, and once in the Institute we're here. We speak to Elder Maxon, he gives us a pulse charge and we get to work. We go through the maintenance department of the Institute and the Brotherhood of Steel's firepower is actually quite frighteningly efficient. We even activate a sentry bot and it just turns to roadkill. We go down a hatch and once we're in bioscience, it's just simply a joke as Maxon just rampages through. And one of the simps has a minigun for some reason, just why? Anyway, after Maxon destroys bioscience, we confiscate the minigun. We can't let it fall into the wrong hands again. And we go into the main plaza, which is a total pushover, as Elder Maxon and co just bulldoze right through it. Anyway, we get to the lift and we meet Mr. Potato, who is smoking. We put an end to Mr. Potato permanently, and we go to his terminal and we override the lockdown. We then head to Advanced Systems and we get to the room with the reactor. We plant the bomb and we're teleported out, and the villain, also known as the Child Simp, fails its persuasion roll. Well done, Child Simp. We speak to Ingram, who teleports us out, letting us push the detonator answering the question, can you beat Fallout 4 with a double barrel shotgun? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. Well, that was a decent run. It was refreshing to use a cool yet badass weapon. Admittedly, it did lack the range and reloading often was fairly annoying, but it was a really good run, definitely one of the easier ones, and it's just really cool. The sheer damage made it so worth it, and it was just a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, where we're going to see if you can beat Fallout 3 with the legendary Paul Q, The Break. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be fantastic. And yeah, I hope you're all having a great time. Like the video if you like the video. Comment down below if you want to say hi or to recommend anything. And subscribe if you're new. Anyway, I think that's everything. I hope you have a fantastic day and you're all having a great time. Remember, you're all amazing. You're all awesome. I've been Insane Frame. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for watching and see you later, everybody. Bye-bye for now.